Welcome to this explainer. You know, for 30 years as an actuary, my entire professional life has been about building mathematical models to quantify risk, price out variables, and essentially predict the future. But today, we're not looking at mortality tables or market volatility. Instead, we're going to put 16 profound words under the microscope to uncover what is absolutely the ultimate, unquantifiable risk, how we hold ourselves back. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into this. Before we run the numbers on our source text, I want to pose this hook directly to you. I really want you to reflect inward for just a second. What actually stands between us and the future? Like, what is the structural barrier preventing us from reaching our ultimate potential? Is it a statistical probability of failure? Is it a lack of historical data? Or is it our own cognitive biases? Keep your answer in the back of your mind as we go through this.
Here is the source text we're analyzing today. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Consider this the absolute baseline axiom for today's risk assessment. I'm going to pause for just a moment so you can fully digest the incredible weight of those 16 words.
Section 1. The Anatomy of Limitation.
I want to slow down here and isolate this single word, limit. In risk management, limits are usually hard, tangible metrics, right? A budget ceiling, a regulatory cap, maybe a physical boundary. But our source text completely reframes this. It forces us to view limitation not as some physical boundary out there in the real world, but as an internal, totally artificial boundary condition set by our own minds. It's literally our own psychological risk tolerance. And this brilliantly illustrates the math behind it. If we were to run a regression analysis on the factors limiting our tomorrow, doubt isn't just one tiny variable with a minor coefficient. The text explicitly assigns it a 1.0 probability. It says, the only limit. On our chart here, it's the entire pie. It is completely crowding out every single other external constraint.
Section 2. Defining our tomorrow.
Let's focus entirely on the word tomorrow. Notice the text doesn't say the future or next year. It uses tomorrow, a word that implies immediate, breathtaking proximity. In our analytical framework, think of tomorrow as the unprojected fiscal period. It's a future state with zero assigned variance. It's basically a space of pure, unblemished potential that's just waiting for us to allocate our energy toward it.
But tomorrow alone is really just a measure of time. The source text pairs it with this absolutely crucial word, realization. Realization is the making or becoming real of something objective. In my world, this represents expected value actualizing into real returns. It's the active, profound process of taking a forecasted model from your imagination and actually building it into a tangible, objective asset out there in the real world.
Let's pause our deconstruction to ask a really important rhetorical question. If tomorrow is this imminent space of pure potential, and realization is our ability to build it, what anchors us to today? We have to look at our sunk costs and our present liabilities. What makes us cling to the known present rather than investing in the unknown future?
Section 3. The doubts of today.
Look at this word boldly on the screen. Doubt. I ask that you sit with the emotional and psychological weight it carries. We have to define doubt not just as a fleeting emotion, but as unquantified uncertainty. See, in actuarial science, a known risk can be priced and managed. But doubt? Doubt is the paralyzing fear of the unquantifiable. It's the exact psychological mechanism that forces us to artificially overprice the risk of failure, right now, in this very second.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark juxtaposition. On the left, doubts of today represents our current liabilities. It's heavy, it's burdened, and it's completely anchored in the present tense. On the right, realization of tomorrow represents our forward-moving assets, just full of limitless potential. The text creates this massive conceptual canyon between these two states, placing them in direct opposition.
Section 4. The ultimate barrier.
Emphasize in your mind this profound temporal contrast. In probability, these are what we'd call mutually exclusive events. Notice how today is inherently linked to limitation and doubt. It is the friction. Conversely, tomorrow is exclusively linked to realization and limitless growth. You simply cannot simultaneously inhabit a state of pure risk aversion today and expect to generate limitless realization tomorrow. It doesn't work that way.
Let's move to and see how this builds on a timeline, much like a critical path analysis. We all start at phase 1, the present phase, which is characterized by those current liabilities, the doubts of today.
To reach phase 3, the realization of tomorrow, you don't just magically jump there. You have to successfully navigate phase 2, the barrier phase. This is where risk mitigation happens. Reaching your future requires properly pricing and passing through that absolute barrier of present doubt.
So, the crucial point is, well, our core axiom comes into sharp focus with infinitely more clarity now. Let's read it once more. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. The ultimate barrier to your potential isn't a market crash or some physical wall. It is literally the psychological friction of unmanaged uncertainty tying you down to the present. I want to conclude this explainer with a final, provocative question derived directly from the logic of our text. Will you let the doubts of your today erase the realization of your tomorrow? As an actuary, I can tell you for sure that a life with zero risk is a life with zero growth. The barrier is entirely in your mind, which means you are the only one who can recalculate your risk tolerance and dismantle it. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today, and keep looking toward tomorrow.